for my dogs from the east to the west side. You rockin' brown and orange with me, baby, let's ride. Represent the land, let them know. Tell them, here we go, brownies, here we go. Yeah, here we go.
Everybody, welcome to the Here We Go Brownie Show. That is right. It is boys' night. Allie is out working in the field, doing her normal 9-to-5 job. We are joined by our friend of the program, Ray Show Dog Frisbee, 2021 Hall of Fame inductee into the National Football League Hall of Fame. Ray, how the hell you been?
Hey, I'm here, buddy. How's it going?
Good. Hey, you know what? We just got done having that Njoku softball game last weekend. I'm so glad I didn't do anything this last weekend. I feel like I was in recovery. I know I'm not 25 years old anymore, but I got to tell you what, it was kind of nice to have a relaxing weekend. We got a special treat tonight when he decides to join the program. But Larry, it's his birthday. He's going to join the program and talk all things sports. He actually got to partake in that David Njoku softball game as well. So, Ray, tell people, they get to see you after the car shows. They get to see you at Browns events. What have you been doing this summer? The people that haven't talked to you in a while on the on our podcast or somewhere else. What have you been doing?
Well, like you just said, it's car show season. So pretty much every day of the week, if I wanted to, I could do a car show. So no, seriously, I try to do 4 to 5 car shows a week. And when the weekend rolls around, a lot of times I could get in like 2 car shows on Saturday, 2 car shows on Sunday. So it's kind of like I'm doing a double header. A lot of fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, so tell me about this. So, there's a lot of folks out there that do car shows, as we know, but enlighten me a little bit about my mom did car shows, right? For years with her Mustang. Right. Every show has different rules, has different prize levels. Do you pick one over the other? Is there one that you particularly like to go to, or do you like to be independent? I know we've talked about this off camera. You like to be independent, come into a show, not be in a class. Like, kind of, what's your rhyme and reason for picking a car show or going to one or participating in a particular car show?
Well, first of all, I belong to a Corvette club. So the club in itself, they go to a lot of car shows. So I do a lot of car shows with them, and then, like you say, I do a lot of independent ones. Well, the problem is, and it's kind of funny, the car club that I belong to is in Pennsylvania. And obviously, the majority of them are Steelers fans, and that's okay. That's okay. But I have a Cleveland Brown themed car, so when I do a lot of car shows in the Pennsylvania area, I get a lot of what's the word? This is a family show, so what's the word that I want to use?
You get a lot of attention.
I get a lot of flack. I get a lot of flack. Yeah. So no, I like to find shows closer to the Cleveland area because I just know that Cleveland people would probably appreciate the car more than, let's say, some other fan group. So yeah, I try to pick shows, Cleveland, Akron, Canton, even some Youngstown, but even Youngstown has a lot of Steeler fans down there. And not that matters, but I try to go to where I feel that the majority of people would appreciate the car.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I got to tell you what's interesting about that is my mom had a car.
The Mustang, right?
Yeah, the 1970 Mustang. By the way, I'm going to find it someday. It's going to come back into the family. It's going to be a family heirloom. Here's why it's going to be a family heirloom. Looking back, it's a 351 Cleveland engine. It's grabber orange. It is literally screaming Cleveland. It's orange. It's got a 351 Cleveland engine. I don't know where it was built, but it has all the makings to be a Browns mobile, right? Like, just by the fact of what it is and the engine that's in it. Before we go any further, though, let's give a shout out to our friends over in Hartville. As you know, Ray, we spend a lot of time down here. We've become
a lot of time in Hartville.
Spent a lot of time with these guys. We got to know the family down there. As you know, they have a big signing next weekend. They got some Browns players down there. I believe it's Joel Petonio is going to be down there, correct?
Yep.
Next weekend. And who's the other? Is it
I
Njoku,
think
right?
Denzel Ward, I believe.
And Njoku, right? Does that sound right?
Right, and Njoku.
Yeah, so guys, if you can make it down there next Saturday, unfortunately, Ray and I will not be able to be there, but we've obviously seen these guys already once. But if you get a chance, go down there next Saturday to the Hartville Marketplace and Flea Market. By the way, guys, it's going to be a great time. It's a good chance to meet David Njoku, get some autographs, get some pictures taken, Denzel, and of course, Joel Petonio. In my opinion, you can argue with me, but a first ballot Hall of Famer like Joe Thomas was, once he gets out of football, he'll probably be a first ballot Hall of Famer at the offensive position. But it'll be a great time. But it's a good time to just get in front of those players and get that moment that you don't normally get off the field. So take advantage of that. That's from our friends at Hartville and Primetime Sports who put that on. So Ray, let's talk about this. Have you been working on your golf game? You've been going to golf? Here's the truth, guys. Ray and I are terrible at golf. And if Brian,
whoa, hold up.
No,
you got to speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, because of the four of us, I think I came in number 2, but that's just my opinion.
Behind Eric Metcalf, correct?
Right behind Metcalf. Although I will say, Allie was really taking big chops at the ball, so she did pretty well.
I think Allie probably plays better than myself, you, or Eric Metcalf. Now, she's played a lot more golf in the last year. As you know, she has a competitive streak in her. You're probably familiar with this. So she probably would beat all of us at this point, to be quite is Metcalf good? Great question, George. He's mediocre, and he would tell you that. He goes to these golf events because that's what these players do. They go to golf events and they play. So he's mid, and he would tell you he's mid at his golf game, and he goes. And the only reason he's gotten better is because he's just had played more golf tournaments. So he's kind of been forced to play golf. So, but let's get into it. Let's talk Amari Cooper. That seems to be kind of the headline, at least for now, the offseason. He did not show up to the mandatory minicamp. Kind of, I think, as a statement to say, hey, look, guys, I saw what you did with Jerry Jeudy. I think I need some more money. What's your take on this? From all the things that I'm hearing, there's kind of a difference between what the Browns want to offer him 2-3 years versus what he may want. Prices out there, there's a difference. What's your thoughts, Ray? And let me ask you, I'll come back to this, but how much further should you sign him? Let me ask you that question. And the other one is, what do you think he's worth per year? So I'll ask that. How many years do you think the Browns should sign him for? And what do you think his value is per year?
Well, unfortunately, he's at that age where teams don't hold veterans as highly as young potential. Because he basically got that was a potential deal. He got signed on youth and potential. So with Amari being, was he 30 something, 30, whatever he is.
No, he's not even 30. I think he's 28, 29. So.
Right. So, he's approaching that age. Here's the problem. Amari and his people, they have a number in mind, and the Browns and in the front office, they have a number. So they just have to figure out and try to come to an agreement to see, what it is. But I just think they're not in any hurry to sign him, because they know that the youth players are the ones that people are snatching up because the potential is there, and that's just what the teams do. So I wish they would. I think that once they figure out, what that number is, they'll go. Man, it's hard, because if they don't come to the number, I think they're gonna let him walk. I honestly do. I'm not hoping that, but I think that what might happen, unfortunately.
Well, here's what I do think. Andrew Berry came out he was at the Ozzie Newsome, by the way. The Ozzie Newsome Symposium for, minority GMs and stuff like that, professionals and I got to be honest, Andrew Barry made it sound like he's part of our culture. You know, he said all the things that makes me think like he's coming back, and there's like he's not even like he's a part of the culture inside the team, like he's important to that wide receiver room. And you got to remember, Jerry Jeudy said when he signed, he looked up to Amari Cooper and saw him as a mentor when he became a wide receiver. So I think he's worth $25 million a year. He's making 20 now. And I think if you can get to 25 2-year deal, I'm assuming someone like him wants 3 years. So he has a little more longevity, but he's making 20, make it 25 for 2 years, because he is in his final year, and give him the 2 and, you know, put some incentive laden things in there, right? At the end of the day. And then you can, you know, you can go from there, and then we'll go from there and see where that went. But I think he wants more guaranteed money. I think that's where the sticking point is. He wants some guaranteed money. And now, you know, but here's the problem. If I'm the Browns, you've already guaranteed somebody else a lot of guaranteed money. So, you know, like there's a problem with that. So,
I wonder who that might be.
That guy's Deshaun Watson. All right, well, let's invite Larry on. It looks like Larry's having his best life. I think this show's about to get fun, but Larry's literally having his best life. So I'm going to bring him onto the program, the birthday boy himself. But here we go.
Something tells me he's going to have on sunglasses.
Maybe.
Right. Hey, where's my sunglasses? Oh, I got to put my sunglasses on. Give me my sunglasses. I can't do this interview without sunglasses. Come on. Come on. Nobody knows what my eyes look like.
Oh, I know what you're there's the
Go Browns. Go Browns. Hey, what's going on, Ray?
What's up, buddy?
I'm walking my wife through the hotel. This is you guys are getting a sneak peek at the hotel while we're talking.
All right, so Larry, first and foremost, happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
You know,
happy birthday, Larry.
Larry,
65.
Larry, you look great for 50. You look great for 50. I love it. So.
I'm not allowed to swear on this thing, or I would.
So Larry,
how's it going, everybody? How are you guys doing? I heard you guys talking. I don't know anything about that stuff.
So Larry, what we were asking is, right now, Amari Cooper is getting $20 million in his final year of his contract.
Yeah.
As you know, he set out minicamp. The team is apart on the actual salary where they need to be, and years that they want to sign him for. And I think he's asking for some guaranteed money. He's making 20 now. We know what Jerry Jeudy got. What do you think? You're obviously going to have to pay him more. What would you pay him per year, and how long would you put him on the roster?
What's Jerry Jeudy getting?
What is it? 20? It's like 18 million or something.
18.
17 million.
So Amari's at 20, and he wants is that well the only thing that'll put it over the edge is the guaranteed part?
I think the guaranteed part and maybe an extra year on his contract.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't, you know, the thing that's beautiful about watching him play the ball is he makes it easy for the quarterback. Okay, Deshaun Watson throws to him. He's good at throwing to him. You know, you're paying people crazy dollars anyway. Give him the 20 million with 10 million guaranteed, no questions asked, and sign him up for a second year. Hell yeah. I mean, because honestly, in the NFL, everyone says, "Oh, we can get a different receiver." Well, now you're starting all over again, and you're going to pay the guy the same amount of money anyway when you're done. Amari's done a good job for us. We all love Amari. There's no reason I don't need to start loving somebody else again. You know what I mean?
Well, and here's the thing, Larry. He had his most productive season last year of his entire career.
In his career. Yeah. Oh, with 5 quarterbacks, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Hey, D, what I was thinking though, while you and Larry was talking, I think what the Browns may do, I think they may go through the whole preseason to see if everybody steps up, and if a receiver emerges like a Tillman, then it might be hard. The Browns might be hard for to give him the big bucks, because for whatever reason NFL teams always invest in youth, and unfortunately, Omari's on the other side of a
No,
youthful
you're
career.
right. You're right. You're right. Okay, so maybe the you give him the number, but only a 1 year. Don't give him the extension.
Well,
Don't give him the extension.
but he's already guaranteed 20 for this year, no matter what. So he's getting
Right.
20
Okay.
million no matter what. He's in his final year. So
Oh, I thought that was for this year. Okay, next year's a whole nother story.
yeah.
You know, I don't know, guys. You know how that thing goes. It all comes down to how much money you got to spend and what's out there. So as much as I'd love to have Amari Cooper on my team until he retires, you know, that's the front office's plan, what the hell they think, what they're looking at. I got to trust them. What are you going to do?
Well, here's what I would do. Here's what I would do if I was the GM. I would be like, look, everybody has asked, and if you've noticed, Nick Chubb, a lot of other players have renegotiated their contract. Deshaun Watson has not renegotiated any of his contract yet. So a part of me is Deshaun willing to renegotiate a little bit of his contract to allocate some of this money to some of his other players that he needs on his team? And I use the Tom Brady effect, where Tom Brady was willing to take less money during his career to bring in the players and the type of players he needed to win championships. I mean, that's just the truth. What's your guys' thoughts on that?
Go ahead, Larry.
Well, you know, Deshaun Watson would be wise if he would use the Brady effect, as you say, to be what you're going to do to build your team. He's only going to, at the end of the day, the money he's getting is already more than him or any of us would ever need anyway for the rest of your life. You may as well look and go for legacy at that point. So for him to win a Super Bowl, that's more important, I think, to him and to us than the dollar value he's getting. So if you can restructure and do stuff to take some of it from him and give it to someone else, I think he'd be crazy not to do that. Crazy.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
You know, I believe Deshaun did renegotiate that first year. Now I don't know if he did last year, but I'm almost positive that he renegotiated his contract the first year.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Deshaun. That's not going to be an issue with Deshaun renegotiating. The problem is going to be spending the big money on the right players, because a lot of teams spend that big money on average players, and man, come on.
Yeah. Well,
sorry, you're gonna get a little background music.
Oh, that's all right. So let me ask you this, Ray. So when we talk about this, and we'll ask Larry this question too. By the way, we're getting a sneak peek of Larry's new hotel. By the way, guys, this is going to be an awesome hotel out in Ashtabula. It opens in July.
I got the. Well, you got to let me give you the 30-second shot. This is the upstairs. Okay. That's the prep room for caterers and stuff like that. Check this room out.
So, by the way, Ray, this is the top of the hotel. The garage doors open and look out to Lake Erie.
Right there's the bar.
The river.
Okay, there's the bar. You got all the glass doors. They're all garage doors. They all work, but we only have 3 of them hooked up. You know, we don't need to open up all the doors.
Wait. So Larry, you built this hotel?
Yeah. Check that. Look at that view. That bridge goes up every 30 minutes from the rooftop view.
Hey, Larry, let me know if you need a Jim Brown room.
There you go. You know, hey, wait a second. You know, you got something, Ray. I would love to be able to do a display of some of your stuff here.
Absolutely.
That'd be a phenomenal event right there. That'd be a phenomenal event.
As soon as I seen it, you got to come down and let me know what you need.
Yeah. That would be cool. That would be very cool. All right, here's the bar. It's all courts, all commercial bar. It's a hell of a lot more than I thought we were going to do, but it turned out nice.
Hey, by the way, I love the idea of having memorabilia in a showcase as you come in the restaurant or the front of the hotel.
Oh, no. We'll let him bring a thing in and put easels up everywhere and put stuff all the way around. You have basically a show of it. We'll have a showing of Ray's stuff. You know,
absolutely.
One big dinner with 100 people. All right, wait. Let me hold on. I don't know if I can. Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm hijacking your show. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Here, look. Let's open the garage door. If I could give you some smell-o-vision, you smell the fish right now. All right. That's the harbor right there.
Okay, Ray, for people that are not watching, we know you're in Ashtabula. That's Lake Erie. What river is that?
Ashtabula, baby. That's the Ashtabula River.
That dumps into the Lake Erie. Okay.
Lake Erie. Yeah, Lake Erie, right down the street from Cleveland. It's a pretty river. That bridge right there is a coal bridge that was at one time the dumper was on that side of the dock, and the coal was pumped and conveyed across the river, and the storage area was way back in there. And we were able to successfully convince the railroad to leave up that bridge because it really is a trademark of our community. It's been there since the 60s.
Right.
And so that's the view. Sorry. Sorry to hijack.
So Larry, one of the viewers said here, maybe we need to have a Browns themed room. One of the rooms needs to have a Browns theme to it when people stay there, like a Browns themed room. You're muted, Larry. You're muted.
Oh yeah, I like that too.
Yeah,
I like that too. But hey, listen. The beautiful thing about being a Browns fan, we all know what it is. It's about partying, the tailgate party, and Muni Lot. We know that's what it is. Everything else is secondary to that. Sorry. Well, not other than Ray. Ray's badass.
Well, and wins. And wins are important. Wins are very important.
Wins are important. That's true. I'm going to start focusing more on the win side. I'd like to see a few wins for sure. Yeah. Enough wins to make the playoffs. Somebody asked me tonight. They said, "How many are we going to win?" I says, "Enough to make the playoffs." That's all we need.
Let me ask you this, Larry. Like, I've debated with a lot of people in public. I've had this conversation. I think the elephant in the room, and we just know this, is this team won 11 games last year with 5 quarterbacks and a number 1 defense.
Yeah.
Deshaun just needs to have a healthy season and play. He doesn't even have to play great. He just has to play good football, good fundamental football at the end of the day. And this team could go a long ways, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah. People underestimate the fact that all of our team, we've got really good people on a lot of good spots. We've got a good team to win 11 games and make the playoffs with 5 different quarterbacks. Even if you said all 5 quarterbacks were decent quarterbacks, you can say just what you just said. Deshaun doesn't even have to play perfect. He just has to play better than average, and we're going to actually win a hell of a lot of games.
Well, Larry, we always talk about how time passes. Today is the 8th anniversary of Cleveland winning a championship. The 2016 NBA Cleveland Cavaliers winning the championship today. And probably close to this time it was about halftime.
Hey, it was my birthday and it was Father's Day.
Well, that's a big day.
That was a good day. That was a good day.
So maybe we're changing the matrix here tonight, Larry, and maybe we're creating something new into the future for championships in Cleveland. So,
look, all I know is I've heard from people that asked me what I think about how did I feel when the Cavaliers won a championship, and I told them, I said that would be an appetizer. That literally is an appetizer. When the Cleveland Browns win the Super Bowl, and I say win, the town, there's going to be 5 million people in Cleveland. They're coming from all over the world for that.
Yeah.
That's going to be amazing.
Hey, D, I got a question for you, D.
Yes, sir.
So with the word coming out of Cleveland that Nick Chubb is probably not going to be available at the very least until mid-season, who do you think is going to emerge out of the running back room as the number 1 threat?
Well, I don't know if I buy the mid-season thing. I don't know if I buy that. I don't know if I buy that at all.
Well, okay, let me rephrase. If in the event that he doesn't come back until mid-season, who do you think is going to emerge?
I think it has to be Ford. I think Ford needs to step up into that role. I mean, he was a great running back at the University of Cincinnati. I think he needs to step up and be the man, right? But even with that said, the Browns have a trio of running backs. I think you can do running back by committee before Nick Chubb comes back. I mean, this team is built, and maybe that's to the point where folks have said, well, I know this for a fact. And you were there, you heard it from David Njoku's, from the gospel. He was at the David Njoku softball game, and he asked, some of the reporters asked Njoku, what's the offense going to look like this year? And you know what he said? All I'm going to tell you, it's going to be juicy. So that tells me maybe we might, I'm not saying abandon the run, but maybe we see more of a pass happy type of offense early on in the season, and then balanced attack as you go down the colder months, right? When you need to have a more balanced attack in the winter months and run and pass the ball. But maybe we are going to see more of a passing game with the emergence of Jerry Jeudy and some of these other guys in Njoku. I would not be surprised. What do you think of that, Larry? That was Njoku's comment at the Njoku softball game.
Well, right. I like the idea because, you got to have a strategy one way or the other to start with. You don't have Nick. You do have a decent group of running backs. All they got to do is play better than 500 for the first part of the year. And think about it. When Nick Chubb shows up and he runs on that field for the first time, I know we're going to be excited. I guarantee you, every player on that field is going to have a little piece of energy in them. And what a great time to do it is the second half of the season. So, I'm a guy that believes in chemistry. And if you could time everything right for chemistry, and yeah, we'd love to have Nick Chubb all year long. But a fresh Nick Chubb halfway through the season with a team that's already won more than 500% of the games, yeah, I think it's a great idea. Throw the ball. What the hell?
Well, yeah, and again, I always say this: what are you trying to do to your opponents? You're trying to keep them, guessing what you're doing, right? At the end of the day, I think everybody in the world knows that the Browns are everything and starts and begins with the run, right? We've always been a run first team and pass second. So if you're going to, surprise your opponent, what a better way to do it than do something like that, right? That just makes sense in my opinion. So that's what I would do. So just that. Hey, real quick, guys, let's talk about one of our newest partners, guys, True Fan Travel. That's right, Browns fans. Are you ready to take your fandom on the road? Join True Fan Travel for an official fan experience partner of the Cleveland Browns and travel with other Browns fans like never before. Everything is taken care of. Flights, hotels, tailgate, game tickets, transportation, food, drinks, everything that's important to Browns fans. Each trip will also include an exclusive meet and greet with former Browns players. To get those tickets, visit truefantravel.com today and reserve your ultimate Browns travel package. And more importantly, join us, by the way, for that Vegas trip. They're trying to book those flights and stuff and those trips. And by the way, they just opened a charter flight from Cleveland that you'll be able to travel with Browns alumni. That charter flight's going to be amazing. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I just confirmed that I will be on that charter flight. So you'll be able to join the Here We Go Brownies on that charter flight as we go to Vegas. And
you got to hook me up on that charter flight, Dustin. Sorry.
Well, Larry, remember you're coming back from somewhere, remember?
Oh, that's right. I'm going to be over in Germany. That's right. Forget what I just said.
It's a good thing I'm keeping Larry's calendar intact.
Sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
So let's talk about this, guys. We haven't talked about this, and even Allie and I haven't really got into this, but I want your guys' opinion on this. Who do you see that could be maybe a breakout player for the Browns this year? Is there anybody, and I'll start with you, Ray, and then we'll go to Larry, but of the current players, who could be a breakout player for this team this year? And I was going to go comeback player of the year, but I think we all know who that should be and probably will be once he's healthy. But tell me who you think might be a player that will kind of rise above and surprise us and be kind of a guy that we did see it coming, but a guy that we think could be that standout player that just comes out of nowhere.
No matter what, every so often? Okay.
I have two guys. One has to come out of the receiver room. I know they're looking long term for a replacement. I mean, they might have to do like you said, like we talked about earlier, a 2-year thing with Amari Cooper. I'm looking for Tillman to break out, and I'm looking for the young rookie that we got from Ohio State, I believe. The second round pick, the defensive tackle.
Oh,
I have a feeling those two guys, because defensive tackle are a premium for our defense. So with the loss of a couple of the guys that we did lose in the offseason, I think forgive me for not, I can't recall the defensive tackle from Ohio State. I can't recall his name. But I think him and Cedric Tillman are going to have great breakout years this year.
Well, you're right, and having depth at the defensive tackle position is key to any football game. We had Bob Golick on last week, and he brought up that he came on from he was he got cut by the New England Patriots, and then
What?
The
Browns
bridge.
claimed him off.
No,
of
there's a guy
waivers.
in the cab.
Oh.
There's a guy in that
Claimed
man's
him
it.
off of waivers,
Bumbo?
Yeah.
and then the next thing you know,
That's
they
the
put him in nose.
Yay! Oh, was I on the speaker? Sorry. Oops.
Okay,
Sorry
Larry.
about that. Sorry about that. I'm calling. Hey, I'm talking to somebody on the river.
Oh, hey, I told you it was gonna be spicy tonight. Whatever we got from Larry, it's his birthday. Oh my gosh. So Larry,
Hey,
so I'll go
look,
next.
check it out. The bridge is up. Check it out.
Oh, they're raising the bridge to let the boats.
Yeah, they
through.
raised the bridge so the bumboat can go underneath. That's the bumboat. It's a bar right here on the river.
Okay.
Call it the bumboat. Hey, my answer to you guys about who's going to be the somebody that's going to be step out this year. I don't know if you're going to call this he's stepping forward, whatever it is. But what we need to be really good this year is the kicker that got hurt at the end of the year, because he was lighting up. We won games because of him last year, and with the injury that he had, he needs to have a comeback and do the same thing he did all last year. Because if he comes back, there's 4 games we're going to win, guaranteed. That's my guy.
Wait! I got one more quick one. Cade York. Remember the name.
There you go, Cade York. There you go.
Cade York. Remember the name.
Yeah.
I got the ball, man. I got his ball.
No.
I got his autograph too. Remember the name.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, it's gonna be Dustin Hopkins. I'm gonna stop this nonsense right now. It's gonna be Dustin Hopkins. And I'll tell you why it's gonna be Dustin Hopkins. We had Matt Stover on this show, and he told us, like, this was in the summertime. He goes, Dustin Hopkins is gonna be just fine for you as a kicker because he comes from Texas and the wind blows in Texas. Phil Dawson's from Texas. I'm from Texas, and Dustin Hopkins is from Texas. And they learn to kick in the wind, and you have to learn to kick in the wind in Ohio, and especially in Cleveland. And I was like, okay, he's right. He's absolutely right. You got to have a guy that can project that ball and put it in there. For me, I tell you what, I took a little bit away from Deshaun Watson and what he said to me at the David Njoku softball game. I don't know if you noticed this, Ray, but he showed up with Elijah Moore to the softball game. They came together. They walked in together. And I tell you what, I said, hey, did you come with Elijah Moore? I go, yeah. I said, I go spending some time with Elijah Moore. And he said, I've been spending a lot of time with Elijah Moore. So that makes me think that they have been trying to build a chemistry at the wide receiver position. So for me, I could see Elijah Moore possibly being that guy that ends up being his Landry, if that makes sense. Like a Jarvis Landry, his scapegoat kind of guy. So for me, I think Elijah Moore is going to be that guy that steps up, and he has that veteran presence, and he's going to be that guy that steps up and helps out Deshaun Watson kind of as a kind of an emergency guy, kind of like to what I would call Baker Mayfield's Hollywood Higgins, if that makes sense. That
Well, he's kind of, Moore is kind of playing with his chip on his shoulder anyway, because he left the Jets all salty because he felt that. Oh, obviously he felt that he should have been targeted more. So when he comes in, and he didn't have a bad season last year, but it wasn't. No. I don't think it was as great as he wanted it to be. So you're right. I think Elijah could. He's easily could step out and be
Right.
the step out player of the year, or even the comeback player. Maybe not a comeback,
Right.
but wait a minute. For your comeback, you already know who that is. Deshaun. It's going to be Deshaun.
Oh yeah, no doubt in my mind.
It's set up for him.
Right. Hey, a quick word from our friends over at Teresa's Pizza. Boy, if you guys haven't had these guys, they have been a Cleveland staple since 1969. That's right. Teresa's Pizza in, of course, University Heights and Mayfield Heights. And by the way, if you're looking to get some great pizza, they have lunch specials, two slices and a soda for $8 in any of their locations. Great places to grab lunch. By the way, they're great for catering. They'll give you a catering discount if you want to do something for your office or do something amazing and then treat the office or whatever. But check out their catering options as well. But that's Teresa Pizza in University Heights and Mayfield Heights. Make sure you give them a try. Like I said, they have been making those traditional handmade recipes since 1969. And if I know anything about pizza, I love pizza. I love that their pizza, all the cheese is on top, all the toppings are underneath. So it's an amazing type of pizza. And by the way, you don't stay in business since 1969 unless you're doing something right. So check out Teresa's Pizza today. That's Teresa's Pizza in University Heights. And of course, in Mayfield Heights as well. So Larry, Larry, what'd you do for your birthday, Larry? What'd you do for your birthday?
Went down to Sharon Center, Sharon Country Club. Played golf with my son-in-law. Had a nice steak dinner with a guy that invited me over here, having dessert with him and my brother-in-law and his girlfriend, and just hanging out, having a beautiful day. I got a 3 a.m. Wake-up call tomorrow morning. I got to go to D.C. for the day for a meeting, so I'm going to crash pretty quick. But here's the double.
Well, Larry, as I say, we appreciate you joining the show, and if you want to jump off and do what you got to do at the hotel there, and
that's cool. I appreciate it. Hey,
happy birthday, Larry.
Thank you, Ray. Love you, Ray.
Love you, dog.
Nice talking to you. Hey, Allie, thank you for not being here tonight, so I got to come on.
All right,
Go
Larry.
Browns. Go Browns, everybody. Go Browns.
Hey, tell your family I love them and enjoy your birthday.
You got it. Thanks a lot.
Bye. Bye-bye. All right. That was Larry. By the way, you never know what you're going to get with Larry on his birthday. I think it's funny. Jason, in front of the program, Jason, he goes, "What is happening right now?"
Hey, D, all I heard, "Hey, Jeffrey, what are you doing over there?"
Well, hey, when you own a hotel, you can yell to people on the 5th floor to people on the river, right? I mean, you have that right? I mean, if it's your place,
absolutely.
Hey, how cool is that? That excites me to do something up there at the hotel, the brand new hotel that he built. That'll be pretty exciting. Hey, could be a place to have a car show. He's got a big parking lot. Just saying.
Car show, tailgate, and some nice Browns rooms.
Yeah. So yeah, Ray, let's get into it. So this is kind of that 2-week time frame where the coaches say, be smart, don't be stupid, don't do anything dumb. We'll see your training camp. Let's talk about Deshaun. I want to talk to Sean a little bit, and this is something we would probably get into if Allie and David was here with the medical moment. He's been kind of on a pitch count. It's weird because he's out there on the 7-on-7s and he's doing things, and then you hear Andrew Berry talk that, if you didn't know he had an injury, he looks fine. Is there a reason he's on a pitch count? And why haven't they took the governor off, right? And just let him go at full speed. Is there something we're missing here? Because you look at it, he's throwing 50 yards. He's doing all those things. He's ripping it. Why is he on a pitch count? I mean, what's your theory on this?
Well, I mean, here's the thing: when you buy a Rolls Royce and you have to put it in the shop, trust me, when you get it out the shop, you're gonna baby it. You're gonna take your time with it, make sure it checks out and everything. So I get it. They gotta make sure, because why push him now when nothing counts? If you're gonna push him in games, in games that count. So there's no need to push him at all through preseason. I mean, obviously you want to see what he's going to be looking like, or what he's possibly going to be looking like, during the season. But yeah, I would keep him on the pitch count all the way up until the first game, to be honest with you. But that's just me, though.
Yeah, and I'll be the counter to that.
Okay.
If he's fully healthy, right?
Right.
What's the one thing that we haven't seen from Deshaun Watson? Consistency or playing time. And
Correct.
So for me, he hasn't been in a lot of games. And the ones he's been in, he's been good at times. I just think he needs as much practice and as many reps as the man can get, right, at the end of the day. Now, I will tell you this. He seems very confident. He seems very cool. He seems very relaxed. You and I have been around him. We've been able to see him. He's very personable. I think everything in the past is kind of behind him. I think he has a very clear vision. I think he's very focused. I think he's looking forward to this season. And I think, honestly, he's looking very excited to prove his naysayers wrong. I think there's a reckoning coming from Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, it is. And y'all better be ready, especially them teams in the North.
No, but I'm telling you, I really feel like he hasn't been able to really show his full potential. And I will tell people this. I was the biggest Baker Mayfield fan. I was the biggest cheerleader for Baker. I enjoyed Baker. I love that chip on the shoulder that he had. But as a Browns fan, and how you're measured as a quarterback, if you're Joe Montana, if you're Tom Brady, if you're Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, you're measured on, if I'm a quarterback and I can lead a team back from being down to victory, that's what you're measured on, right? You
Correct.
Literally come back from being down. And by the way, I'd like to point this out, Josh, Jason, you brought up a great point. The Guardians are killing the Mariners 8-0, by the way. Anybody that's over at that game, 8-0. Home runs are coming out of that park. You know what? I went last night. They lost, Ray. I didn't go tonight. Maybe I'm jinxing them, but they've won while I've been there. So, but I'm like, maybe I need to stay away because they put up 8 runs on the board and to a goose for the Mariners. But what I'm saying is, what I saw from Deshaun Watson in that game on the road, being down 14 points, to the eventual AFC Championship playing Baltimore Ravens in their house and beating them with a guy that was clearly injured and probably should have came out of the game, but he didn't. He played the entire second half of that football game and won it. That's the kind of quarterback the Cleveland Browns need to have on the roster. And I'm assuming that's why they paid him the money, because they need a guy that can drive them and bring them back in a football game. I will say this. I haven't seen Deshaun lose me a game. You know what I mean? Like, I haven't seen Deshaun Watson lose me a football game. I've seen Baker Mayfield lose me a football game. I could think of a Green Bay game where he threw 3 picks, and that was the difference from the Browns making the playoffs. Deshaun's never really threw a game away for the Browns, if you know what I'm saying. Like, he's never, had a game just blow up and he ruined it. You know what I mean? He might have played okay, but he doesn't take the chances. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't seem to be the kind of guy that takes kind of really aggressive chances to possibly put his team in a detriment, right? Would you agree with that, Ray? Because I have not seen that from him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And just to add on that, I'm hoping that this new offensive coordinator just throws any RPOs that they have out the window. Deshaun does not need. There shouldn't be any design running plays with Deshaun. If he's your Rolls Royce, protect him. Now, I don't have a problem with him scrambling to extend the plays. I mean, all good quarterbacks are supposed to do that. But just a play where he gets the ball and he just turns it up, man. No, come on. He doesn't. He has great getaway speed, but he's not Lamar. So why are we? I don't even get that anymore. And I'm hoping that we've seen the last of those RPOs last year, because every time he did that, I'm clenching my cheeks, and I'm like, no, what are you? It's frustrating. But then again, I'm a Browns fan, so what can I say?
Well, I mean, we can almost say the RPO has got Baker Mayfield into the situation that he got himself into, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
well, no, the play that separated his shoulder, he was that was the what's that fast guy? Schwartz ran the wrong route or whatever.
right.
That's really what got Schwartz running the wrong route and the interception, and he tried to make the tackle and all that. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, and it's like, so again, I think I don't think we can speak in volumes about this, but at the end of the day, this team will be decided on the play of Deshaun Watson this year and the health of Deshaun Watson. And I think that's going to, but I really do feel like he has this is what I noticed. He just has a very calming confidence to him right now. Like, just wait. Everything's going to be just fine. We're going in the right direction. And he's got the locker room has his back too. I mean, let's be honest. The locker room has his back.
They do.
They believe in him. And you know what's interesting about this football team? And I saw it at the David Njoku celebrity softball game. There is a culture in this locker room that is a camaraderie. It's like a brotherhood. And I talked to some of the 80s Browns players, and they're like, that culture has finally changed in that locker room. And what I mean by that is when you have a brotherhood and you have a David Njoku celebrity softball game, and you invite back a Jacoby Brissett, and he comes back. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to show you that respect among them off the field, right? Because at the end of the day, it's football, it's a business. Right. But are you there for them in the tough times, or the conversation you have to have with them outside of football to help them out with whatever situation they need, right? Or whatever. But I don't know about you, but I just felt like this team, they're real tight. Like, they just have a real core to them and I think that's what held them together last year with all the damn quarterback changes and all the injuries. They still won in spite of all that. And I think those are probably the most dangerous teams to play, in my opinion, in the NFL, are teams that are like, we got it. Don't worry. We're down by 10. No worries. Now, I could look at teams of the Browns in the past, and if they were down by 14 points going into halftime, they're done. They aren't coming back, right? They aren't.
They like a card table.
They don't have that give a damn in them, right? They just don't have that.
Right.
This team kind of like, and if they lose a game, they kind of take it as an insult, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, they really take it as an insult. And I remember, I think, you came with me. We went to the Taste of the Browns, and the mood of those players after that blowout loss to the Ravens, they knew they were better than that, as a football team. And you could tell they just weren't in a good mood. Like, and you know what? I want my players in a bad mood on a Monday if they lost, right? I don't want to be like, oh, well, we lost. Like, I don't, I want them to have a bad taste in their mouth and be like, we got to fix that, right? So, let me ask you this. What do you think now, this is the other thing that I think is odd with the NFL. They always put out this strength of schedule that says, hey, by the way, this team has the easiest schedule, worst. Browns have the toughest strength of schedule. What's ironic, it pretty much goes in order 2, 3, 4. The entire AFC North has the toughest strength of schedule because they beat the hell out of each other, right? And they all pretty much were playoff teams last year, except for obviously the Ravens.
Yeah, every team in our division had a winning record. So next year, which is this year's season coming up, everybody's going to get a tough schedule.
Right.
Absolutely.
But here's the also thing. They always base it on last year's schedule. Some teams fall. Some teams aren't who they were the year before. I mean, that's just the net. There's about 30, I think it's 30 or 40% of the teams that were in the playoff the previous year aren't not in the playoffs the next year. That's just a matter of fact in the NFL. So there's a chunk of 30 or 40% of those teams that just aren't going to be there. So based on a Nick Chubb coming back week 5 to 8, okay, we'll call it that, week 4, 5 to 8. I think at least 4 games he's out. and then worst case scenario 8. So I put him at 5 or 6, possibly, and a good Deshaun Watson. How many wins do you think this team has in them, in your honest opinion?
I'm going 12 again. I picked 12 games last year. I'm picking 12 again.
That's a big number.
Well, here's the thing. We didn't lose. I think we got better on defense. And defense wins championships. So that's going to be, and I was going to bring that up while you were talking about, the last question that we were talking about. I was going to say we have to give the defense a lot of credit, because as long as the defense could keep the game close, the offense, that makes it easy for the offense.
Yeah.
Or I should say it makes it a lot easier for them. So yeah, if the defense is always causing turnovers, always keeping the score low, that is the best. That is the quarterback's best friend. A great defense, quarterback's best friend.
Yeah, because
wait, and a good catching tight end. those are the quarterback's best friends.
Right, someone that can truly separate the field. Right. Well, I mean, think about it. I mean, the Chiefs have lost great wide receivers like Tyreek Hill, and that kind of X factor has been Travis Kelce, right? He's always been that scapegoat for Patrick Mahomes, right? He's always been his scapegoat when he has to make that big play over the middle, that big body physical guy that can kind of separate himself. So you're right. Tight ends, what's funny, and tight ends weren't always, looked upon as they are now, as a valuable position as they were. Ozzie Newsome was kind of an outlier in his day, right? He was kind of the guy that kind of stood out, but there weren't a lot of guys that were like, I mean, they clearly didn't get paid what they get paid today, right? We know that. And the tight end position is to the point where you have basketball players being taken, that didn't play football at the tight end position because of their strength and skill set for catching, right? Clearly, if you're playing basketball, you got to catch and jumping. Right. And if I'm a 6'6" guy going down the field and I can catch it and move on a guy, I have to do that in basketball. That's a decision maker kind of difference. And I got to tell you, sometimes physicality makes a difference in the game. And we got to spend some time with some of those Hall of Famers like, Eric Dickerson and Eddie George probably should be in the Hall of Fame. But I got to tell you, when Eddie George walked in that room and he was 6'3", I just thought to myself, he is so built. I'm just imagining.
He looks like he can still suit up right now.
I'm just telling you, I'm just thinking about what that had to be like facing him if you're a defensive line and Eddie George is coming down your throat at 6'3" as a running back. He looked like a linebacker. He looked like a middle linebacker out there, because of his size. Or he almost kind of looked like he played defensive end, to be quite honest. But it's interesting. These players are getting bigger, physical, faster. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to, obviously, we know the play of Deshaun Watson, and just some of those other things that it is what it is. Hey, but hey, Ray, I know you've seen this stuff, Stadium Mustard. By the way, if you don't have it in your kitchen, at your ballpark, or wherever you're at, or at your next barbecue, 4th of July is just right around the corner. Get some Stadium Mustard. That's right, stadiummustard.com. Actually, they have some cool swag t-shirts you can get as well. But you can get that all at stadiummustard.com. It is the authentic Stadium Mustard. By the way, the mustard also that's served at Cleveland Brown Stadium. You can find it there on any Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whenever they're playing a game there in prime time as well. But Stadium Mustard, beloved by many. Get your Stadium Mustard today. So, Ray, Ray, some people, may be seeing you for the first time here. Ray, tell people where you live. Tell people what you do. Obviously, tell them a little bit about your collection. Because some people, this may be the very first time and they know you as a Hall of Famer, but, why are you in the Hall of Fame and what got you there, and kind of tell them what your goals are in the future with your collection.
Well, yeah, I got into the Hall of Fame because I have a Cleveland Brown Museum, and currently we're trying to solicit. One, we want to find a brick and mortar location,
Permanent
or,
location. Permanent location. Right.
right, in or around the Cleveland area, to erect this Cleveland Browns museum, because I mean, let's face it, it's in my house, which I mean, nobody can see it. So I mean, this is a museum that the masses need to see. So, like I said, we're currently looking for we're looking for a place. Two, we're looking for investors. So I mean, that's the gist of it, mostly. Do a lot of car shows, do a lot of tailgates. Probably been collecting my whole life. That's probably why I have amassed so much. But just it's fun collecting and it's fun doing car shows because I tie in all three of my passions. My collection is the Browns. I love the Browns. I have a Cleveland Brown themed car, so I represent the Browns at car shows. So I'm just kind of tying them all in together, or I should say, I'm tying all my passions in together, kind of sort of.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. And here's the thing, guys. I will, and I'm probably correct when I'm saying this, Ray, but you probably have the largest private collection of Browns memorabilia. I would assume. But to your point, I think you have more than the Cleveland Browns do in memorabilia. For one, because when the team moved, they kind of didn't have a give a damn about the stuff, right? So they're moving to, they're going to become the Ravens. Well, here's the weird thing, which I don't know why they didn't care about the history, because I can remember very vividly that the mayor of Baltimore took a mug and slammed it down on a podium and said, "We have landed the Cleveland Browns." And I think he felt very confident he was going to keep the name. And as we know, we were the only city to keep the name, the heritage, the records, and all that in place. And it's just like they didn't play for 3 years. So I am a little surprised that they didn't care more about the history at the time of the previous ownership. This ownership seems to care about the history. You see them, we didn't even bring this up, but we might as well do it now. But Phil Dawson just got inducted to the Legends Club. That's amazing. As a Cleveland Brown, well-deserved. But it seems like they are starting to make the right turn to honor their alumni and the ones that made the football team great. And that wasn't always the case for the Cleveland Browns. You know that, Ray. That hasn't always been the case, them highlighting their past, but they're very much embracing it. We know that the Haslams, one of their first calls of duty was to get Jim Brown back into the fold, back into the building, and be a part of the culture with the Cleveland Browns. He said, this man right here stands for the Cleveland Browns. He is the Cleveland Browns, and he will be in our building. So, that's changed, right? And we've seen that change. So, yeah, right. Like you said, if there's anybody out there that wants to be a private investor, I agree. This museum should be somewhere in the Cleveland area, somewhere probably close to where the Browns play as well. So if fans are coming to town or visiting Cleveland for whatever reason on a vacation or family or whatever, they can partake in this. And Ray, I haven't even talked about this, but I think this is something that you could even expand if it is a museum where you can bring alumni in and they can be part of the visitation.
You already know. You already know what we're going to do.
Yeah, so you bring these alumni in to be a part of the history and showcase. And what I mean by that is you have, like, at the Hall of Fame, you have guest Hall of Famers that come in and greet, and are part of the participants that come there to the Hall of Fame. And I think it'd be really cool to give these alumni a place to remember those memories, right, and cherish those memories and be a part of that, and be a part of that. So it's pretty cool. Jason, you said put it in the stadium. Great question. I think at one point, part of this collection was in the stadium. And then they had a collection in the stadium, and then that was removed. But Jason, you bring up a good point. Maybe this could be discussion for the Browns with their new expansion of the of a new stadium, what that ever looks like, a dome or wherever that stadium may be built. Maybe there needs to be some type of, well, you know what? Jason brings a good point up. And maybe this is where the Browns need to pivot a little bit. I have not been there, Ray, but I have been told this. And I don't know if you've been there. But when you go to Green Bay, there literally is a Green Bay museum next to the stadium that's all about the history of the Green Bay Packers and
Green
memorabilia.
Bay has one, 49ers have one, the Giants have one, Philly has one, Cowboys have one. I think pretty much the majority of, especially the older teams, they all have museums in or around the stadium, their stadiums.
And I was just going to say, I'm not sure what's happening over here at the stadium, but there are fireworks going off again. So I can only assume that there's another home run. I'm probably missing like the greatest game of the year right now. So let's get a score update, shall we? Let's just what is the score of the game now? I'm just curious. Let's see. What do you think it is? 8-0. 8-0. 8-0. Crazy. Oh, I know what that was. Game's over. They won. Game is over. Final from Cleveland.
Or they were signaling you it's 9 o'clock.
It is 9 o'clock.
Ah!
But hey, they are 44-26. This team is getting close to 20 games over 500 again. American League Central Division leaders by at least, I think, 4 games, something like that now. Still playing great baseball. But Ray, it was a privilege. It was awesome having Larry and his wildness join the show for a few minutes tonight and give us a sneak peek while he screamed at people at the river. You never know what you're going to get on the Here We Go Brownie show. But it was a lot of fun, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy. And as always, Ray, what do we say? Go Browns.
Go Browns.